So it's Danny Flexon here for Seconds Out. Delighted to be joined by Kieran Farrell BEM. I don't know if you like that at the end of your name or not.
Mate, I fucking love that.
Right,
It's a
I'll
British
wait
Empire medal from the Queen. I got a British Empire medal from the Queen for my work at the community in Manchester and all the stuff I done with boxing in my local community in Manchester. So yeah.
Now, we've been trying to set this up for quite some time. Obviously, wanted to do it while you were still in camp with Daniel Dubois, obviously helping out Don Charles, preparing Daniel for the big fight this time around with Anthony Joshua. You didn't want to give anything away to the other team, I think it's fair to say. And I think that's a good place to start because we heard a lot from the Joshua camp going into the fight, not just from his training team, but from sparring partners and so on. Didn't hear much from your side at all. Was that a conscious decision? You didn't want to talk to the press in the build-up?
You know what, mate? I'll be honest. We've had all the pressure on us. We've had no pressure on us at all, really. Everyone thought Daniel Dubois was getting banged out, and I was the team, me, Don, everyone at the team, and Daniel's dad. We was all confident in what Daniel can do, and we knew he was going to win.
And so, was that a thing though that you didn't want to give too much away publicly first?
Yeah. Look, I just like we'd rather just do our talking with a fist, like you said. You know what I mean? And like all you know, like don't get me wrong, it's great to do all the interviews and that today. Like you know, we're victors and we won on the big stage and that. But yeah, we're just all about the business, and it'd be the same again. To be honest, Danny, if he says right, he's fighting such a person in X amount of weeks, right, Sam. I don't want to give no sort of game away, you know what I mean? Because like people start trying to extract little things from what you say and what like. And if you ask me a question like, oh, you got to watch out for AJ's right hand and stuff like that, then if I start delving into that, you know what I mean, then I could give the game away a little bit. So yeah, I didn't really want to slip up like.
And tell us about when and why or how you first joined the Dubois camp. So did Don reach out to you, or did the dad, or how did that work?
It was a mad one. I was working in Saudi Arabia at Mike Tyson boxing gym for 2 months. I actually seen Daniel Dubois, Don Charles, and the team over there for when he fought Jarrell Miller. That was at Christmas time, and I met Don Charles in, I'm going to say 2012 when I sparred Ashley Fearfane at his old gym. And yeah, like I was always like sort of fond of Don and I liked him, you know what I mean? And we didn't end up meeting up again until in Riyadh in Saudi. And what happened is I'd come home from Saudi because my son got poorly, because I didn't want to stay there, even though we were great and that. My son got poorly back in London, or back in Brentwood, where we moved to recently. And I was like, look, I'm going home. And they was like, oh, no, give me more money now. Like, no, I need to go home. And then I went home, and then a week later, my friend Paul from who takes his lad up to Rain and Boxing Club had rang me and said, I just had a funny conversation with Stan Dubois. He said, are you interested in working with Daniel? I was like, are you taking, is this a piss take, you know what I mean? And he was like, no, serious. And anyway, lo and behold, Daniel had messaged me on Instagram and said, can you come on Monday? I'm like, fucking right, yeah. So me and my missus were looking at you see that Salas, that Joe Joyce's trainer, wears the big high heels, doesn't there? So we was doing a bit of shopping, trying to find some high heels for me to wear, but obviously, we couldn't find any. I thought, right, just fuck it, I'll just take my little pads, I'll take my little trainers, I'm going to turn up 5'7" and do the pads with Big Daniel Dubois and see how it goes. And it went well.
Were you worried at all when it was the dad that was reaching out to you? Because obviously you don't want to step on Don's toes, you want to be all one big family.
No, because you know what it was, Danny. Like I was on a trial. Mine was a trial. When I come in, it was like, let's have a look at him, and it weren't like you've got. Well, after one session, I had actually got the job, but you know, I come out of the car onto the Waitrose car park next to Don's gym, and I got a lot of notifications. New member of team Daniel Dubois, and thinking, fucking hell. I haven't spoken to anybody, you know what I mean?
So they told the media first.
Yeah, everyone social media knew all about it. I thought, fucking hell, I haven't spoken to anyone, but it was great, and I do get it because I'm not a pad man. I'm a coach, you know what I mean? And I think everyone knows that. But then the same is that I'm happy. I was happy to be part of something what I know what could be great. And I'll be honest, Daniel Dubois, I've been watching him since day one, and I think he's great. I think he's a great fighter, and I'm like, I love good pieces of clay to work with, what I can mold in certain ways. And Daniel Dubois got that, like, sort of like Mike Tyson sort of image, or some sort of clay what you can mold into a killer, and he is a killer. Look, he knocked everyone out by one, you know what I mean? So yeah, we started implementing things. Don loved it. Don was like, look, you're like a sped up version of me, and you know, this is great. This is what just exactly what they needed. I coming in to help Don out, and we were both on the same, we're singing off the same hymn sheet, and I think that's what we needed as a team. And Daniel's obviously having a great success with it all. And you know, we beat Ergovic. No one thought we'd beat him. No one thought we'd beat him. I know it, and no one thought we'd beat AJ. Even if someone thought we'd beat Ergovic, nobody thought we'd beat AJ. But we was always like quietly confident, and we done the business last night.
What was kind of your mission or your brief when you joined the team? Like, what did Don or the dad or whoever say to you? This is what we want you to work on, or this is what we want you to improve.
He said to me, "Do your thing, and we'll sort of like look at you from there." I got in there, done my thing, and I know I'm the best, Danny. I know I'm the best, so I didn't have to. I walked out, and before I seen the notifications on my phone, my missus said to me in the car, she waited in the car because I don't drive, obviously I had to bleed on the brain, and she said to me, she went, how did it go? I went, well, how do you think it went? I'm the best, man, you know what I mean?
So what is, you say you did your thing. I've got no reason to doubt you. You've always been a great guy. What is your thing? What do you bring?
So, Danny, like, Gareth Davies asked me that just before the Ergovic fight, what do you bring to the table, yeah? I'm like, look, apart from my youth, my energy, my positive energy, and my boxing knowledge, I just know that I can teach fighters fucking great things. And I mean, you only have to look on my fucking Instagram to see, you see like me working with an 8-year-old kid, and the kid will like Canelo, but that's not for no reason, you know what I mean? That's because we work hard, you know what I mean? And as a coach, I wanted to start from the bottom at the People's Gym in Manchester, in Haywood. I got a schoolboy champion, I got a junior champion, I got a youth champion, I got a European gold medalist, I got a world medalist, and then I was like, I was doing my managing and my promoting, and I had a meeting with Jed Mason, Mawson Group, who sponsors me, and he said, don't be jack of all trades, master of none. If you're a promoter, put your suit on. If you're your manager, go and sort your business out. Or if you're a trainer, do your training. And it took me a little while to sort of gather how I'm going to do it, but then, because I've always got the drawstring bag on and promoting a show and running around and matchmaking and doing it all. But I just thought it was the lockdown what done it for me. I'm going, boom, boom, boom. I'm doing Ryan Garcia pants, man, you know what I mean? Everyone's like, wow, look at this kid. It's fast. It's like Ryan Garcia. And I had a few videos go viral. And I thought, you know what? As much as I say I love managing at one point, and then something will piss me off, as much as I say I love promoting, then I lose a few quid and like, fuck this. Training's always been my forte, and I look up to like Joe Gallagher and stuff like that, and I'm like, you know, if I can get in the future, maybe have a stable of fighters, or the fighters what I'm working with, I don't need to work with a load of fighters. I like to work with a few. I've got an handful of fighters at the minute, that's it. But I like to work with them few, and we're on individual journeys. And Daniel Dubois' journey last night, it's like, that's like the pinnacle of world boxing. 98,127, I think it was, what Turkey said their last count was. And that's amazing to be at the pinnacle of sport. Age at Wembley, completed it, mate.
You said Daniel was like a piece of clay that you wanted to mould. When you were looking at him from the outside, or when you knew you were going to come into the team, what did you look at as where he could improve? So
his head movement, that was the number one. All it was, and Don said something to me actually, which I respect Don massively, because he's such a knowledgeable guy, and I like to sort of look up to Don as well. Like, and he give me advice, and he takes a little bit of my stuff as well. And all it was I looked at Daniel and I'm like, listen, he just comes in fucking straight lines. and he's dead, always there. It's not there, it's not there, it's not there, it's not there, it's not here, it's always there. So I thought I need to add this into his movement. Like we'd say jab, slip, or we said what Don says, he says zip, zip, yeah. I say slip, slip, slip. So I'd like boom, bam, bam, bam to get yourself in. So you're moving your head, getting yourself in there. But if you watched Daniel Dubois last night, and I just been watching it right then before you rang, his foot movement was fucking great. And what everyone will say to you about the pads, what I do, oh, I don't stand still. I'm there, I'm there, I'm there. I'm moving around, because if you're imitating a fight is never, you're never going to stand there on the spot. Even if you're a heavyweight, it's never just static. You got to be moving, you got to be moving. And what we did yesterday, Dana, was we seen that Joshua was going to look for the step backhand. He's going to walk him into it. That's what he was trying to. So when we had the feint, Joshua thinks he's going to go, so he steps back and cocks the backhand, and we're not there. So we're feinting, or we're going in and back out and back in. So it was two-phase attacks, you know what I mean? So, yeah, just everything what was adding to it. And, like, the thing is, Danny, is that Daniel Dubois is not even, he's just getting started. He's 27-year-old. As a heavyweight, he's a baby. He could rule, and I don't want to sound like I'm going OTT or Daniel, but we said it at the start. Daniel Dubois, he's got a controversial loss to Usyk. Daniel Dubois could, if he gets a rematch with Usyk or whatever, whether it be Fury or whoever it may be, he could be the ruler of the division for the next 5 years. You just don't know this, you know what I mean? This is boxing.
Now, let me ask you, fight week, Don was really ill. He had flu or a head cold or whatever. We know he was laid up in bed. Now, we knew that because Don's quite friendly with our owner and they speak and stuff. And a certain few people knew that. But someone did an interview, I think it's since been taken down, alleging that Don's absence was because of some sort of fallout with Stan Dubois. You're seeing that interview or seeing the reports of it. What are you thinking at that point? Because you know it's wrong, but it's like causing a thing on fight week.
You know what? I'll be honest. Maybe it would never put us off, you know what I mean? Like, and I know that it come from a malicious person trying to put us off, but we're a strong team and we already knew what we're doing. And like, the thing is that you're fighting AJ at Wembley, you got to expect like AJ turn up late, or you know, there was all sorts of different things what you got to sort of deal with. And it's a great experience, and it was actually a mad experience. I had to deal with Daniel alone because obviously Don was poorly, so I do the public workout, and that's what it got it going. When I did the public workout, everyone was like, "Hang on a minute," but to be fair,
Don's changed.
yeah, that's it. Don's the Don. That's what I'm saying. He's the Don. He tells us what we're doing. You know what I mean? So yeah, we what's it called? He said, Kieran, you're more than capable of putting the pads on. Or you do it every other day. We did it, and you know, let everyone talk, and we just crack on, man. You know what I mean? We just crack on, do the business, and do the talking with a fist, and that's that.
What's it been like working with Daniel's dad? I've interviewed him, one of the few that has, for about an hour. He's a unique guy. Some people criticised him in the past. Some say he's the best thing since sliced bread. Like, the interview comments were mad. Everyone loves him.
Yeah.
What did you make of working with him? What's it like?
Hey, I could listen to him all day. He tell me about. He said to me, "Oh, you're born in June this, that." It was so like that means that
he did that in the interview. He got the chart out.
Yeah, I'm a Chinese fucking elephant or something. I don't know what the fuck I am, but it was good. You know what I mean? I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I'll take it, man. You know what I mean? But no, Stan's a good guy, and he's been good to me, and he gave me the opportunity to work with Daniel Dubois, and I can't say a bad word about Stan. He's a good guy, and I'll tell you one thing, Danny. I'll tell you this from my own side of things. There's a quote. It says, "A father's disappointment is very powerful too." Yeah. Now, I can resonate with that, because if I was sparring, I remember sparring Chris Edwards. I'll tell you a story. Chris Edwards, who's passed away. I sparred Chris Edwards, who was British champion.
Yeah.
And I'll pummel him all over the ring. Yeah. I'll pummel him all over him, and then I did shit in one round. I must have had a round off or whatever. And my dad went, come on, son. Like that. And can you still see me there?
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, mate. Someone ringing me that song. So he says, come on, son, like that. But I heard him, like, a bit of disappointment in his voice. And then when I heard that, I thought, fuck this, I'm gonna get stuck in now. So I got stuck in just because I heard my dad. I felt like my dad was disappointed with the way I was sparring or whatever. So when Stan's in the corner and he says something like work or feint, or he will take it gospel. And
well, you can actually see him during the fight kind of nodding down to him now and again to say, yeah, I've got it, I know, or
yeah,
whatever, you know.
See, Stan knows himself. That's probably not a good thing as well, though. When he's looking at his dad in the corner, because I remember Stan saying yesterday, "Don't fucking look at me," he said. You know what I mean? You got to keep getting the ball. Everyone knows that in boxing, but you know, it's good that he's in the corner. He's got a powerful voice, and you know, I noticed that, you know, the first time we all worked on the Ergovic fight, it was a fucking free for all. It was just like, let's get over the line. But when we come back, I said to Don, I said, listen, Don, whatever I've got to say, when I say to you in the corner, then Don's just going to fucking relay the information of what I've got to say and what he's got to say to Daniel. And that's the way we worked yesterday, and it fucking worked great. I never got involved. I thought, I don't need to get involved now. You know what I mean? And to be fair, from the fucking first round, we didn't need to get involved anyway. It was job done, you know what I mean?
Joshua's trainer, Ben Davison, in the build-up said something, I'm paraphrasing, but said something along the lines of Daniel's style, or the things he's not so good at, plays into Joshua's hands. He thought it would go early, which it did, albeit not his man's way.
Yeah.
Did you hear those comments before your camp? And if so, did it play into like motivation or anything?
I heard nothing, Daniel. I didn't take any sort of interesting to listen to what anyone's got to say. I just knew what he was going to do. And it was clear to see what he was going to do because of the way the last two fights played out. Daniel got caught with fucking 45 backhands in the first 3 rounds of the Ergovic fight. AJ knocked a guy out, and Ngannou with a clean backhand. And everyone's like, oh, AJ's backhand. So we knew the one shot they were going to be looking for. And also, I was talking to Francis Warren yesterday, and he said maybe they're going to look for the left hook, because Daniel likes to put his head down with the right hand, but we take the head off line. When we throw a right hand, we'll take the head off line. You don't keep your head tight to get caught. When you're throwing the backhand, you bring your head off line. Yeah. You watch that shot, what he knocked him out with. It's there. You know what I mean?
Did you expect it to end as early as it did?
Mate, I told you. I've got a message here. I can send it you. My mate texted me, said, what round? I'm like, bro, rounds 4 to 8. Rounds 4 to 8. I said, rounds 4 to 8. I said, I wouldn't be surprised if it went in the first. My missus overheard me. She's looking at me like, you fucking crazy. AJ, the first. I'm like, listen, Daniel Dubois is different. And, you know, look at his record. He can, honestly, he touched my chin. He touched my chin with the same shot what he got Joshua with in the first round. You know, overhand right. We were doing that for the Ergovic fight, yeah? So I was like, look, bro, you got to throw it over like this, yeah? So anyway, Daniel's not really paying attention. He's got over and he's got me on the chin. Oh my God, my leg's slipping up and walked off out my hands out like a zombie.
Yeah. When he dropped him early in the fight, did you still think it was going to be rounds 4 to 8, or were you thinking it could be even earlier here?
Well, I knew that it could be any time, but then the same is that a wounded animal is at its most dangerous. We had to be careful. He had to stick to the game plan with his feet, make sure his feet and his hands up. You know what I mean? Because AJ, boom, he caught him. He caught him with the backhand. And when he caught him, Daniel was then the injured animal. And that's when we got him. You know what I mean? Because AJ was like, fuck, I got to close the show here now. And as he did that, boom, he walked into it.
And end of round 3, AJ was in a lot of trouble against the ropes, taking a bit of a pounding. The referee waited until he went down and issued a count. Were you thinking in the corner it could be stopped there?
Well, I think, is that where the referee, there was one time where the referee went like this, but it was on about...
Oh, no, that was the no knockdown. Yeah, no, this was the end of round 3.
Yeah.
He's beating him up against the ropes, taking a lot of clean shots. I thought the ref was going to step in, but he waited until AJ went down to a knee and issued a count instead.
If he did that, it would have been controversial. You know what I mean? If he did that, they would have been like, he shouldn't have done that. It's the end of the round. He had a minute to recover. So I'm glad the way it all worked out. I'll be honest, like, it couldn't have gone any better.
And in the probably about 1 second that it took for AJ to land that clean shot on Dubois before the finish, were you at all nervous at that point?
you're always a little bit nervous, but I'll be honest, like, like I say, not saying that's part of the plan, like you've got to be an injured animal to be at your most dangerous. But honestly, when you've got someone going, you've got to be careful because they can come back with that boom. And that's exactly what Daniel did, you know what I mean? And that shot, what he caught him with, he must have threw it a million times. It's his backhand, man, you know what I mean? But yeah, look, to answer your question, I was a little bit nervous. Yeah, I can't say I wasn't. I'm not going to lie to you and say I wasn't, because it's AJ at Wembley, you know what I mean? So we need to make sure that everything goes right, and thankfully it did. But, look, honestly, Daniel Dubois is a wrecking machine, man. He can go through anyone like a hot knife through butter.
With that in mind, have you got any preference who you'd like to see him fight next?
It's hard because it's not even 24 hours later, but I get it. I actually get it. We're talking about this the other day down here, so it's mad, isn't it? You just beat somebody up, yeah? You just worked for 12 weeks for it, and then everyone wants to know who you're fighting next. Well, no, you know what? I'll be honest. I actually fought for Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua versus Deontay Wilder would be a good fight right now.
I mean, there's talk about whether AJ should carry on or not at this point.
They're saying about a rematch clause, and I thought, well, that's the fucking worst thing. That's the worst decision. Because you've got a young guy who knows his bangs are out now, and he's only going to get better. He's only even at his prime yet. Daniel Dubois is not at his prime yet. He's a dangerous guy, you know what I mean? It won't be a fight what I'd advise AJ to do, you know what I mean? I think AJ versus Deontay Wilder's probably the best shout for his next fight. But Daniel, look, I know that Daniel wants to get redemption on the Usyk fight. I know that, and I'll be honest, I weren't part of that team at the time, but the team's strong now. It's like a complete team. We're ready, and I think that with my own addition and with the way Daniel's boxing now, and we've got everything in control, I think we can beat Usyk.
And I want to talk about you a little bit. I know you prefer to keep the spotlight on the fighters, but for people out there that don't know, because I'm aware now, I looked earlier to see the timeline. It's like 12 years ago almost now. Your career was ended in a fight with Anthony Crolla, who's a regular on our channel, lovely guy, and I know you're really good friends now. But you suffered a serious brain injury in that fight. You obviously had to end your boxing career. As you said earlier, you can't drive. One of the many things I'm sure in which way you're restricted. But now you've rebuilt your life. You've got the British Empire Medal for your work in the community, which is amazing in itself. You've been part of a world champion who's just knocked out AJ in front of a record crowd at Wembley Stadium. Can you try and put into words your own journey from where you were to where you are now?
Well, to be honest, Danny, it's a mad journey. And I'd bore you if I went through it because I could talk all day about it. But I started boxing at age 7, boxed for England as an amateur, were national champion, turned pro at age 18, very young, went 14-0, then fought Andy Crolla, suffered a bleed on the brain, and I couldn't put my socks on. I couldn't lean over and put my socks on. I was fucked. And it took me, I'm gonna say it took me 12 months to get back on my feet. It took me a lot longer than that. But I say I was getting about a bit. I opened the gym and that, that was always like a thought, right, Sam, we're doing something positive, you know what I mean? We're gonna do something positive, and I love boxing because I could have easily got into the family business with the tarmacking and the groundworks, what my dad does and my brother's doing. My brother's got 50 men working for him right now, you know what I mean? I could have quite easily got into that, but I said to Dad, I love boxing. We open a gym for your son, and that's what we do, you know what I mean? So that's exactly what we did. And I always known, Danny, I've always known that I am destined for big things, and destiny's got a big part to play in not just myself, with Daniel as well. If I got offered a job in Saudi Arabia in Mike Tyson's boxing gym. I went there. I'll just say, I told you, my son got poorly. I come back. If I didn't come back that week, I would have still been in Saudi when I got the message from Daniel Dubois. You know what I mean? So like, it just, destiny's got a funny way of sort of the road what you take, and it just happened. And I'm buzzing to be, obviously where I am as a 34-year-old man. I'm still only young. And as a trainer, I'm a 34-year-old, but I've done it all, man. You know what I mean? I've been there, I've done it all. It's not nothing what I can't say what I haven't done. It's like when I was watching the guy rap AJ's hands yesterday. I thought, I don't want to like, I don't want to be a dickhead. I just want to keep it all cool. You know what I mean? I'm like, we're gonna fight. The lads are gonna fight. I don't need to try getting anyone's head driving the fucking fight. But I felt the guy who was doing his hands, it looked like he learned off YouTube. I don't want to be a cunt. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? And I don't think I don't think he's had fight experience himself. And I think a lot of people, you know, look, I don't get me wrong. You don't have to have a fight to be a good trainer. That's the truth. You got to have an eye for boxing. I mean, some people have good eye for boxing, but I think it always helps when I know that you how you're feeling and the nerves you go through, and I can talk to you about it all because I've been there and done it at fucking every level of boxing. I've been there and done it, apart from fucking AJ at Wembley status. That was a new one for us all, though, you know what I mean? But I can say that now that I've got it under my belt, and I'm probably one of a small minority percentage, especially under the age of 35, who can say that they've been there and done that, and we did it, you know what I mean? And we didn't only do it, we succeeded and with the victors, you know what I mean? So, yeah.
And just finally, you said as we were chasing you, you'd speak after the fight, which you have. I messaged you almost immediately after it ended. And what was your response? What did you say to me?
The landlord got dealt with. It's the truth.
Brilliant. Oh, brilliant. Mate, I really appreciate your time, especially so soon after. I can see you're still buzzing though, so it's great to see. Yeah, what a life. And like you said, you're still only 34.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, mate. Honestly, I really think that my life, the destiny of myself is, look, I see like Canelo and Mayweather and the 24/7 and the all access this. I'm like, look, I'm going to be there. Trust me, I'll be there. You know what I mean? Like, and, you know, look, Daniel Dubois just beat AJ at Wembley. That don't get any bigger than that. You know what I mean? That's the world heavyweight title. You know what I mean? Now we can't, now no one can say that we've been given a belt. We ain't got to give shit. You know what I mean?
Great stuff. Mate, really appreciate it. I'm really happy for you as well. Let's catch up again soon.
Thank you, Danny. Thank you, mate. Appreciate it.
Take care, mate. See you soon.